Good evening and welcome from Fansler Field here in Rochester. Steve and Val with you tonight, and we've got some spring sports. Finally, Val, on the air for you tonight on RTC TV4.
Batting second and playing second base, number 4, Campbell. Batting third and playing shortstop, number 9, Alexis Sheets. In the circle this afternoon, and batting fourth for the Winamac Warriors, Ella Gearhart, number 10. Catching for Winamac, number 20, batting fifth, Emma Goodman. Playing third base and batting sixth, number 5, Sam Perry. The designated player batting seventh will be Brooklyn Ulrich, number 25. The flex player, number 12, in left field, Olivia Link. Batting eighth and playing first base, Ella Hake, number 13. And in right field, the batting ninth, number 16, Lindsay Walters. And now the starting lineup for your own Rochester Lady Zebras. Batting first, we're playing second base, number 7, Emma Sells. Batting second and catching this afternoon for the Lady Zebras, number 12, Kylie Watson. Batting third and playing shortstop, number 3, Emma Hotteshell. Batting fourth and playing third base, number 1, Kylie Coleman. In center field, batting fifth, number 23, Sid Hawes. Batting sixth and in the circle this afternoon for the Lady Zebras, number 27, Mia Hotteshell. Batting seventh, playing first base, number 20, Olivia Powell. Batting eighth and number 11 in right field, Keaton Doran. And batting ninth in left field, number 10, Dara Strasser. If everyone will please rise, gentlemen, remove your caps for the playing of the national anthem. Thank you very much, and good luck to both teams.
Ready to get things going here at Fansler Field.
Well, it's been a little bit longer coming than we thought as far as getting going here, Val, but we're getting ready for the first pitch of the spring here on RTC TV4.
Is there an issue with rain? Do we need to cover anything?
Yeah, it's
It'll be Smith, Campbell, and Sheets due for Winamac here in the top of the first.
In the top of the first for the Winamac
the clouds coming in a little bit here. You can see that. We got the cameras are all covered, so we're good to go there. And it looked like we were going to be good to go weather-wise, and then about halfway through the setup there, Val, the clouds started rolling in, so I went ahead and did that. So everything is covered up, and hopefully if we get too much rain, it might, but hopefully we'll be good to go here for this one and get this game in. It's been a rough spring as far as weather goes. We had 3 games here on Saturday we were supposed to be doing that got canceled due to the weather, so should be a good one here tonight. Winamac Warriors against your Rochester Zebras here on RTC TV4.
Leading off, the center fielder, number 2, Smith.
All right, Maggie Smith to lead things off for Winamac. He's going to be a slapper. And the first pitch is a strike by Mia Hadashell. Coleman at third, Emma Hadashell at short. Sells at second and Powell at first. In the outfield, Dara Strasser in left. Hawes in center. Doran in right. Watson and Mia Hadashell the battery. So that's basically it's been the same way for 3 games. 1-2 the count to Maggie Smith. She was little Maggie Smith last year. She's just Maggie Smith this year. The other Maggie Smith graduated. Leading sports writers everywhere to rejoice. 2-2 the count. Ball high, like a rise ball. Pretty good movement on Mia's stuff. I think that's what stood out so far. I saw her pitch against Plymouth last week. Low and away. That's a base on balls to lead off the game.
Smith walks to bring up the second baseman, number 4, Campbell.
That'll bring up second baseman Kaya Campbell. Kaya hit .270 last year with 3 homers and 20 RBIs. Pitch is way high. Callie's got to jump up and catch that one. Good pitch. Swing and a miss.
Let's see if that gives Mia some confidence. She'd started off really well against Maggie and then kind of threw about 3 balls in a row. So that was a nice one to get by Campbell.
Grounder, right side. Sells will throw to first.
Fielder's choice.
In time for the out.
First. Smith goes to second, 1 away.
Smith advances to second on the play, so a runner at second with 1 out for Alexis Sheets.
That'll bring the shortstop, Sheets.
Alexis had just a phenomenal year last year. She had 480. I mean, we talk about the Ella and Emma show, but Sheets was great last year too. Hit 485. She had 9 homers and 34 RBIs, and she's ahead in the count here, 1-0.
You wouldn't think somebody that hit 9 homers would, be kind of overlooked, but maybe just a little bit when you got your leaders at 18.
Right. She's just a fantastic athlete. She's one of the best runners on the cross-country team. I know she's done cross-country and track, or she's done, softball and track at the same time. I don't know if she's doing it this year. I haven't talked to her lately, but she's done it before. Pitch inside for a ball. And she's ahead in the count 3-0. Runner at second, 1 out here in the top of the first.
May not sound like much, but that is very difficult, just the time schedule for both of those sports.
Yeah. High and outside, that's another base on balls.
Sheets walks. We'll bring up the pitcher, number 10, Gearhart.
And that's not a situation you want. You don't want to face this girl with 2 on base.
That's exactly what I was just going to say. You don't want to have base runners for Ella Gearhart.
She had 487 with 18 homers and 57 RBIs last year, and she swings at the first pitch and drives it to deep left center field, and it's off the wall and in play. Smith is going to score, and here comes Sheets, and she'll also score. 2-run double for Ella Gearhart, and Winamac takes a 2-0 lead.
Bring up the catcher, number 20.
Well, she was swinging on the first pitch and drilled it just short of going over, but damage is done. The Warriors get on the board first.
It was interesting. She's never faced Mia Houdeshell before. You think she maybe take a pitch? No. She knew exactly what she was looking for, and she hammered it.
Well, that's a senior there that has seen a lot of pitches, and she knows one that she wants.
And now another really good hitter in Goodman, who homered yesterday against Rensselaer. Good pitch there. Strike over the outside corner, and the count's 1-1. Emma Goodman hit .448 last year. She had 3 homers and 30 RBIs. Unless she had the 3 homers, she also had 5 doubles. As that one is fouled just over our heads, and the count is 1-2.
Yeah, literally, right on the roof.
To either dugout, please. Appreciate it.
Winamac is in that tough sectional 34. Produced the state champion last year in Pioneer. Fouled off, and a really good Boone Grove team is in that sectional as well. And the sectional's at Boone Grove this year. So even though they're both in 2A, they wouldn't have to. These two teams wouldn't see each other again until the semi-state.
Right.
1-2. In the dirt, and here goes Gearhart trying for third, and she'll take the bag. That's big. Now they've got a runner at third with 1 out. The ball was blocked by Callie, but right at her feet. And like about a couple inches behind her, and she took just a split second for her to locate, and that was all Ella Gearhart needed. That pitch is way high, and the count is now full to Goodman.
Callie might have saved a run with that stop right there on that last pitch. She had to really get up there to get that.
And Rochester not playing the infield in here. I think they'll trade a run for an out if they can get one. Base on balls. That is 3 walks in the inning.
Good walk.
Let's see.
Runner number 18, Bruce.
Well, we talked about these young pitchers for the Zebras, and it's been a bit of a struggle here early in the ball game for Rochester.
Courtesy runner now in at first. We'll get you her name in a second. Throws to second and goes into center field. And scoring on the play is Gearhart, 3-0. Double steal. And when the throw went into center field, that was allowed Ella Gearhart to score easily. Actually, we'll call that an E2, so we won't give Ella a steal of home, but pitch is high. Count is 2-0. Lauren Bruce, she's a freshman down at second base. She was brought in as a courtesy runner for Goodman. Strike 1. Sam Perry, the batter. There's only one Maggie Smith left, and there's only one Perry. Katie graduated, but Sam's left. Pitch is high, 3-1. Nothing Winamac here in the top of the first. Pitch is high. That's another base on balls.
Puts runners at first and second.
Becky Lee's about to talk to Mia Houdeshell.
Batter for Winamac will be number 25, the designated player, Ulrich.
For Brooklyn, Ulrich bats.
So for Coach Lee, Val, I mean, you got, just a really young pitching staff anyway. So how long do you leave Mia Hadashell in a situation like this?
That's always a good question. Apparently not any longer at all, because Emma Sells is going to take over in the circle.
So Hadashell is going to get switched out here with a third of an inning of work in the top of the first here for Emma Sells. So give her some time to warm up here. So the Zebras have another game here tomorrow, right, Val?
Yep, another home game here tomorrow against Logansport.
That's another good team coming in. We saw the Berries, or you were down there anyway, last week when they won 6-5 against Caston.
Yeah, this is a Winamac team that's more of a slugging team. That Logansport team is more of a speed team that they'll see tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll see Kinsey Bird. She'll be another pretty good pitcher.
Batter, Ulrich.
So it looks like Mia Hadashell staying in the game. She'll play third base. Kylie Coleman moves from third base to second base, and Sells moves from second base to pitcher. And the first pitch is fouled off by Ulrich. Brooklyn Ulrich had only 5 at-bats last year as a junior. She went 1 for 5. Popped up, foul, out of play, and Sells is ahead in the count 0-2. And Rochester with another home game here on Friday against Culver. The 0-2 pitch. Grounder, left side. Emma Hadashell's throw.
Single for...
Not in time. Infield single for Ulrich. She's pretty tall and she has long strides, and she was able to beat that play. The bases are loaded. Boy, just hit that in a perfect spot. That'll bring up Ella Haig, the first baseman. If she had hit it harder, they would have at least had a chance at a force play.
Batter is Haig.
And Emma Hadashell had to go far to her right to flag that down. It was a long throw, and Ulrich was just too fast. 0-1 the count to Haig. Low. 1-1. Fly ball to center. Median depth. Who's got it? Hawes has it. She throws it to Sells. The run scores on the sac fly. And Watson throws to third, and there's an error on the play. And all 3 runners wind up advancing. It's a sacrifice fly for Ella Haig.
Haig gets a sac fly and an RBI.
4-0.
Runners advance on the error. Runners down at second and third. Batter, number 16, Walters.
So Bruce scored on the play. Perry looked like she was fine with holding at second, and Ulrich was fine holding at first. But when the throw to third was wild and got into left field, they both were able to advance. That'll bring up the number 9 hitter, right fielder Lindsey Walters. Nice block there by Watson. Lindsey Walters, a freshman. 2 for 8. Excuse me. 0 for 7 on the season. Scored 2 runs. Three 3-0. First base open. You'd really like to get her out with Smith on deck. High, another walk.
Walters walks. Brings us back up to the top of the lineup. It's Smith.
Bases loaded. 2 out. And Maggie Smith, the batter. Strike. Maggie came in, well, she's still 5 for 13 on the young season. Walked her first time up earlier this inning. She's behind on the count here 0-1. That one is fouled off. Looked like it got off the end of the bat for Maggie Smith, so the count is 0-2.
Well, this is big here for Emma. She got ahead, and this is a big out if she can get out of this inning here with the bases loaded.
The 0-2. Hit well to right center field. Can Hawes get there? No, and it's going all the way to the wall. 1 run is in. 2 runs are in. Here comes Walters. She scores. 3-run double for Maggie Smith, and it's 7-0.
Double for Smith. That'll bring up the second baseman, number 4, Campbell.
Again, those slappers who can swing away and put some power in it, there aren't that many of them. But Maggie Smith is one of them. They're hard to defend. Now Kaya Campbell will bat. Hit well to center. But Hawes makes the catch to retire the side.
Now before the Warriors can get 7 in the top of the first.
But a great first inning for Winamac. They score 7 runs. 3 hits. No errors and 1 left. At the end of half an inning, Winamac leads Rochester 7-0. We'll be right back on RTC TV4.
Welcome back here to Fansler Field as we move into the bottom of the first. The Zebras at the plate for the first time here tonight. And coming up with a 7-run deficit, Winamac put up 7 in the top of the first. And Howdeshell, the starting pitcher, made it through a third of an inning. Emma Sells just almost had it there. She had an 0-2 count against Smith, and she was able to get a pretty good bite on that ball and get a 3-run double.
I think Emma left one pitch up there, and Maggie got a good look at it, and she put a terrific swing on it. That was hit to the fence to right center. But boy, those slappers who can, I mean, they're just so hard to defend because sometimes she can swing. Sometimes those slappers can swing away, and that's what happened there.
Well, let's see if the Zebras can chip away at that 7-0 lead here in the bottom of the first.
Sells, Watson, and Howdeshell do up here in the bottom of the first. I'm going to tell you these batting average, and these are real batting average, people. Sells is hitting .556. She's 5 for 9 so far with 2 RBIs. She hit 9th in the batting order against Triton, but she's hit leadoff these last 2 games. And Sells started the game at second base. She's now pitching. Kylie Coleman started the game at third base. She's now at second base. Ground ball, second base. Campbell sort of first. Got her.
Rounds out for the first out. That brings up Watson, the catcher.
Callie Watson's batting average is .571. She's 4 for 7. 3 RBIs. First pitch from Gearhart. In there for a strike. And when Ella Gearhart isn't pitching, she's maybe the best catcher in our area. Line drive, right at Campbell.
Watson lines out to Campbell for the second out. That'll bring up Howdeshell, shortstop.
That'll bring up Emma Howdeshell. Emma's 7 for 7 with 7 RBIs. Is that good? Sounds good.
Sounds good, yeah. See if she can keep that going.
She has more steals of home than she has outs. 1-0. Plymouth hit her with 3 pitches on Friday. Or Thursday. That was kind of rude.
Huh.
She's tore her ACL 5 months ago, and now you're drilling her with 3 pitches. But you know Emma. Just shook him off. That home run Emma hit against Triton was just the she only had one homer all of last season. She's already got one this season. That was against Triton. Rochester had 8 homers as a team last year, and Hawes had 6 of them. So if they can get more power from other spots in the order, that will really help. Liner foul, count 2-2 to Emma. Becky Lee over coaching at third base, and her older sister, Abby Overmeyer, over at first base. I was talking with Becky the other day after the Plymouth game, and I said, what's the difference between being a first-year coach and a second-year coach? And she said, I feel like I can coach softball now. I'm not worried about how to fill up a lineup card or number of game balls, or there's so many administrative details you have to deal with when you're a softball coach. Remember, she didn't get hired until October of 2020. She didn't get a full summer with these girls, so she didn't really meet her players until really the first day of practice. She had some off-season stuff, but
so many of them are involved in basketball. There's not a lot of off-season stuff you can do at that point.
Right, I think basketball practice had already started, so I think she's just a lot more comfortable. Kylie Coleman. That's a strike. Hottishell caught between first and second. Does she get back? Yes. 1-1 the count. Kylie Coleman is hitting .625, and she's got 8 RBIs in 2 games. That sounds pretty good, too.
Yeah.
She had the big 3-run triple. If Emma's not the fastest player in the team, then I'd say Kylie is. And the ball gets away, and
Hottishell advances the second on an error.
Hottishell now at second. Should we replay that?
No, I didn't.
Okay. It's an error. Well, runner at second, 2 outs. Pitch to Coleman. Foul ball. 2-2. On one hand, you don't want to be too risky in the base paths down by 7, but on the other hand, you want to get something going, I guess. The thing about Ella Gearhart is she knows she's up by 7, and she's only going to get tougher to stop. Pop-up foul, and it's missed by the first baseman. That's another error. Call that an E3. Two and two. Swing and a miss, but the ball goes to the backstop. It's a strikeout. But Coleman will reach, and Emma Hottishell winds up at third on the play.
Coleman reaches on a drop strike.
Well, a little bit of a break there for the Zebras. Let's see if they can capitalize on that with 2 outs.
Strikeout number 1 for Gearhart, but she doesn't get an out on the play. Now Hawes will bat with 2 on base. Let's see if Rochester can take advantage of this break here. I would imagine Hawes will be taking here to allow Coleman to steal second. It's called a strike, and Coleman stays at first. And Gearhart fakes and whirls a throw to third. Line drive to center, base hit. Emma Hottishell scores on the play. So the error keeps the inning alive.
Scores on a single by Hawes.
And Hawes delivers.
I don't know if Coleman would have been over at second. I still don't think she probably would have scored there on that one. But of course she would have been at third here with 2 outs.
First pitch to Mia Hottishell is high and outside. We'll call that a wild pitch, and other runners at second and third.
Kind of a moot point now, as everybody has moved over one.
Mia got on base 3 times. She's 0 for 6 on the season, but she got on base 3 times on either walks or hit by pitches against Plymouth, and that is a strike. 1-1 the count to Mia. Takes a good cut, but fouls that one off. TRC play starts next Wednesday, April 20th. Round ball right back to Gearhart. Her throw to Haig is in time, and that retires the side.
Huddlestone grounds out to the veteran for the third out. Now before the Zebras getting put one on the board.
Rochester scores 1 run in the inning, 1 hit, 2 errors, 2 left. At the end of 1 inning, Winamac leads Rochester 7-1, and we'll be right back on RTC TV4.
All right, back here at Fansler's, we move into the top of the second. The Warriors lead 7-1 after 1. Where are we at in the lineup here for the Warriors?
It'll be Sheets, Gearhart, and Goodman. The heart of the lineup for Winamac do here in the top of the second. While we're covering a Winamac game, I'd like to give a shout-out to Claire Collins, Winamac grad, now running at Indiana State for their track team. Won the Gillum Award, which I think is one of the most prestigious awards that Indiana State University gives out. Congratulations to Claire.
That's awesome.
Of the running Collins family. They're just great people as well. So congrats. Well, there's a lot going in Winamac these days. Sports-wise.
Justin Haley doing well in the Cup circuit.
Yeah.
I want to mention, Ella Gearhart's older sister Aubrey is a freshman down at IWU, Indiana Wesleyan, playing softball.
Yeah, she had 13 homers last year and was one of their great pitchers as well. Left-hander in the circle. The pitch is high. Count is 3-1 to Alexis Sheets. I think some people call her Angie. Sheets hits one to deep left field. Back to the wall. And that ball is gone. She hit it out. Alexis Sheets. It's a solo shot, and Winamac leads 8-1. That ball was clobbered.
That'll bring up the batter. The pitcher, number 10, Gearhart.
Strasser ran out of room. I'll bring up Ella Gearhart. Sells aims for the outside corner, but misses. And the count is 1-0. So a big 2-out RBI for Hawes in the bottom of the first, but Sheets gets the run right back. Strike called, 2-1. Ella stands pretty way up toward the front of the circle. Pop up, right field. Doran makes the catch.
Gearhart pops out to the right field for the first out. That'll bring up the catcher, number 20, Goodman.
Nobody on, 1 out, and the catcher, Emma Goodman's the batter. Obviously, the big sporting news coming out of Winamac yesterday, the retirement of John Hendricks. What a coaching career he had. He won football sectional titles at 4 different schools. Ground ball up the middle, that's a base hit for Goodman.
Goodman with a base hit. We'll bring up the batter, the Perry.
That'll bring up Sam Perry.
Courtesy runner for
Yeah, what was his, how long had he been coaching? 30-some years?
Right. 232 career wins.
Wow.
He was inducted into the Indiana Football Hall of Fame just last year. He won a state title at Carroll, and he won sectionals at Northwestern, Knox, and Winamac. Ground ball to short. Stepping on the bag is Emma Hotteshell, and her throw to first is not in time. You can't assume a double play, so that's not an error, but it is a fielder's choice.
Fielder's choice on second.
There's a runner at first with 2 outs for Brooklyn Ulrich.
Here's 25.
And the news that Winamac will need a new football coach comes on the same day that they find out that they're moving to Class 2A. Pitches inside for a ball to Ulrich. Winamac moving to 2A in football next year after. Strike call. Winamac staying in 2A and all the other fall and winter sports. Staying in 2A in volleyball, in girls basketball and boys basketball, and staying in 1A in boys soccer. Leonard to right, can Doran catch it? Nope. Can't handle it. She got handcuffed by it. There was a little slice on that. Moving to third, and safe there is Sam Perry. So that's an E9.
Ulrich reaches first on an air. Perry goes to third.
Going to be a busy offseason for the Winamac AD as he's going to be looking for girls and boys basketball coaches and a football coach.
Right. And Ella Haig takes low. Taking off for second is Ulrich, and she steals it. So second and third, 2 outs.
Stolen base for Winamac.
A run in. Winamac leads 8-1. Yeah, Winamac needs a girls basketball coach, a boys basketball coach, and now they need a football coach. And for Mr. Leverins, he's got a lot on his plate. I mean, first year AD. Pitch outside. Alan Hugler stepped down as boys basketball coach, about a week ago or so, maybe a week and a half.
Yeah.
So how do you juggle open coaching spots with spots on the faculty? As Haig lofts one fouled on the right field line, 2-2. Is it 2-2 or 2-1? 2-1. Sorry about that. 2-1 the count. Fly ball on the right field line. Foul. 2-2.
You were just foreseeing the future after the next pitch there.
For once. Usually I'm the one who says, and during a basketball game, wow, they haven't made a turnover lately, and the next thing you know, the ball gets thrown into the fifth row of the seats. Two to Haig. Got her looking. And that retires the side.
Looking for the third out. Winamac gets 1 in the top of the second. 1.5 complete. 8-1 Winamac.
1 run, 2 hits, 1 error. And 2 left for Winamac in the top of the second. At the end of an inning and a half, Winamac leads Rochester 8-1 here on RTC TV4.
All right, back here at Fansler Field as we move into the bottom of the 6th. The Warriors leading 8-1 after an inning and a half.
It's not the bottom of the 6th.
Did I say 6th?
Yeah.
What in the world? Bottom of the second.
Yeah.
6th. Did I say that? Wow. Well, Val, it's been a while, obviously, since we've done baseball or softball. So, give me 1 error for the game so far.
Yeah.
How's that?
Yeah. E on Steve.
Yeah. E producer.
Yeah.
So.
Can't spell Steve without 2 E's, but let's add a third. Okay, bottom third of the order due for Rochester: Powell, Doran, Strasser. And Olivia Powell's ahead in the count 1-0. Olivia a freshman. Again, with Carly Blackburn graduating, I think first base was kind of one of those mystery spots. Like you didn't know who was going to be playing there. But Olivia has seized control of that spot. It's been kind of a revolving door at first base. It's just 1 and 2. Over the past few years, they haven't really been settled to that spot. Got her swinging.
Powell strikes out. Bring up number 11, Doran.
Strikeout number 2 for Gearhart, and that'll bring up Keaton Doran. And Keaton is off to a red-hot start. She's 5 for 7, and 3 of her hits are doubles. And I think she's been, if she hasn't been the most pleasant surprise, I think she's right up there.
Yeah.
I mean, you can tell she's a good athlete, and I think it's starting to click for her. 0-2 the count. Again, Ella Gearhart with a 7-run lead is not going to be cute here. Especially facing 7, 8, 9 in the batting order. She's not only a great athlete, but she's smart too. Foul ball, 0-2. Winamac with an interesting game coming up at home on Thursday with the Tippecanoe Valley Lady Vikings coming to town.
Huh.
It's a Valley team that won last night over Triton. That's a Valley team with a very good, impressive young freshman named McKaylee Costello. Ground ball to second. Campbell sort of first is in time for the out. 2 up, 2 down.
That'll bring up number 10, Strasser.
Well, you know, that's a Valley team with Coach Matthias. They just have improved, incrementally in her 2 years here at Valley, and it's going to be a good test for both teams.
Yeah, and now those sophomores, last year's sophomores are now juniors, and they're a year older, and they're a year better, and they're a year stronger. And, Corinna Stiles had 4 hits and 4 RBIs last night against Triton, and I know that's a Triton team that's struggling pitching-wise.
Mm-hmm.
But, you put her and Macy Kirkenstein and Molly Moriarty and Mercedes Snap and Brittany Ben, and then you had a really good young freshman like Costello in that lineup, who I know plays a lot of travel ball. And you have a chance to have a really good lineup there. 1-1 the count to Dara Strasser. Good speed here. She bunts. Foul ball. 1-2.
Yeah, it's not going to take much. I mean, Dara's got some wheels. If she can get one down, she can get herself on. Another one of the young freshmen for the Zebras.
Yeah, 2 for 6 so far in the season. And I think both of her hits were bunts, and she goes down swinging. That was caught by Goodman, so she is out.
Goes down swinging for the 3rd out.
No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left in the bottom of the second. At the end of 2, Winamac leads Rochester 8-1. You're watching RTC TV4.
Welcome back here to Fansler Field as we move into the top of the 3rd inning. Winamac still leading 8-1. Well, Gearhart has looked pretty good in the circle here tonight for the Winamac Warriors, Val, and she looks like a senior that's been there, done that kind of against the Rochester Zebras so far here in this one.
Yeah, I mean she's good. She's good at changing speed. She knows how to throw that ball like just a couple inches off the plate. And if you're going to bite at that, she'll maybe throw it a couple more inches off the plate. I mean, so she knows how to pitch with a lead. In other words, it'll be Walters, Smith, and Campbell due for Winamac here in the top of the 3rd. Walters walked and scored her first time up.
Bollinger in for Doran for Rochester.
Audrey Bollinger enters the game for Rochester. She's now playing right field. Keaton Doran's out.
Another freshman coming in for the Zebras. Put
in play to left. Strasser makes the catch. Walters is the first out here in the top of the third.
Walters flies out for the first out. That'll bring up the leadoff batter, Smith.
Good start here in the top of the third for the Zebras. 1 pitch, 1 out. See if they can keep it going.
Maggie Smith has a walk, a double, 3 RBIs, and a run. Way high. Busy night for Rochester sports. Tennis opening their season at home against LaVille. Girls tennis, that is. Track with a home 3-way meet against Wabash and Manchester.
Senior night.
High 2-0, and that's, I don't know about Wabash. I think Manchester will be one of their top threats in the TRC. Wabash is really good in the sprints and the hurdles.
Mm-hmm.
And baseball at Plymouth tonight.
That should be a really good one there. A good early season test for Coach Good and the boys.
Yeah.
He said, I was talking to him, I saw him over at the hardware store at noon, and he said Plymouth coming off of I think a 3-2 win over St. Joe.
Yeah, they're off to a good start.
Yeah, so.
Strike call, 3-1 the count.
Anytime you can beat St. Joe in baseball, that's saying something.
Yeah. The Zebras will host Pioneer on Thursday and Culver Academy on Friday. We'll have both of them right here on RTC TV4. And that pitch is high, and Smith walks, and she's been on base for the third time.
Smith walks, brings up.
Yeah, looking forward to getting some baseball for you on RTC. Haven't got a chance to see the team yet this year, and of course, coming off of the sectional championship last year, and they had that big class of seniors graduate, but they've got a really good looking, the juniors this year that were big part of that team last year as sophomores, and got some nice looking freshmen coming in as well.
Yeah.
So really looking forward to that on Thursday.
And then Rochester's at Caston on Saturday. The pitch is low, 2-0. And then Rochester's at Eastern. They're at Northwestern next Monday in a makeup game.
Okay.
And then, of course, TRC play begins at Whitco next Wednesday. So they are very busy, weather permitting. Pop up, who's got it? Dropped by Mia Hadashell. Throws to second, and they get the force out. What a play by Kylie Coleman. That was insane.
Campbell is saved at first on an error by the third baseman, but they get the force out to Smith at second.
So, help me out on that one. Does that infield fly not apply in that situation?
Infield fly does not apply. It only applies with runners at first and second or with the bases loaded.
I got you.
And there was just a runner at first there.
Okay.
The throw pulled Coleman off the bag, but she fell down and touched the bag with her glove. So it's not an error. It's just a force out, a really weird force out, but it is a force out. And that'll bring up Alexis Sheets with a runner at first and 2 outs. Sheets has walked and homered. She scored twice, and she's driven in a run. Want to know the count? Inside, throw to first. Safe. I'm not getting a good look at the TRC this week. They're playing the Ladies East tonight. They're playing Valley on Thursday, and Saturday they play the defending state champs from Northfield in a doubleheader. Winamac swept a doubleheader from Northfield last year. To give you an idea of how good Winamac was last year.
Right. And that's
fly ball to center. Can Hawes get there? Nope, it's over her head. Rounding second on her way to third. The throw to the plate is not in time. And moving to third is Sheets.
Sheets with an RBI double advances to third on the throw home.
An RBI double for Alexis Sheets. And Campbell
Pitcher, number 10, Gearhart.
Scored all the way from first. It looked like the throw had a chance to get there, but Callie couldn't hold on to it. And when Campbell and Watson kind of came together. Callie couldn't hold onto the ball, and it got away, and Sheets wound up a third. And that gives Ella Gearhart a chance to bat in this inning with 2 outs and a runner on base. 1-0 the count. Fly ball to center. Who's got it? Hawes has it, and that retires the side.
Gearhart flies out to center field.
But Winamac scores 1 run in the inning on 1 hit.
One on the top of the third, headed to the bottom of the third.
No errors and 1 left. At the end of 2.5 innings, Winamac leads Rochester 9-1. And you're watching RTC TV.
Back here at Fansler as we move into bottom of the third. The Winamac Warriors still lead 9. Well, they've added 1, so they lead 9-1. 9 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors for the Warriors. 1 run, 1 hit, 2 errors for the Rochester Zebras.
Top of the order, Duop Sells, Watson, and Emma Houdeshell.
Sells, Watson, Houdeshell leading off for the Zebras.
Emma grounded to second her first time up. Pitches outside. Caught up with the Rochester boys golf team. I think is the only varsity team that's not playing tonight. I caught up with Dan Bailey yesterday, and he was kind of like, I don't think we have any guys who can shoot in the 70s like we did last year. When they had Reese Reaney and Wade Schaefer, but I think you can get 4 guys who can get in the 80s. This might be more of kind of like a pack.
Yeah.
Ground ball to third, fielded on the short hop. Throw to first, not in time.
Sells with a base hit.
So Sells leads off the bottom of the third with an infield single. Tough play for Sam Perry, taking over at third for her sister who graduated. She kind of, I mean, if you let that ball roll, maybe it rolls foul, but you don't know that, and you want to be aggressive. As Watson is ahead in the count now, 1-0. Callie lined to second her last time up.
You mentioned the golf team. They were supposed to host a big invitational on Saturday. They got canceled.
Right.
Have they had any events yet that were?
They have not had a competition yet. That was supposed to be the season opener.
That was the opener.
Rochester with a big tournament coming up on Saturday at the Don Dicken Classic. That's over at Stonehenge Golf Club in Winona Lake. The Warsaw hosts that tournament.
Okay.
It's one of the first big ones of the year, but it's supposed to be Arctic on Saturday. I think it's supposed to be, about 40, 45, somewhere in there.
Oh,
2-1.
I don't want to hear that. Mm-hmm. We got to go to Winamac for track invitational on Saturday.
Yeah.
They don't generally cancel those things.
Popped up foul, caught by Goodman.
Watson pops up for the first out. I'm going to bring up Emma Houdeshell.
Let him bring up Emma Houdeshell. Emma has still not been retired yet this season. She's 7 for 7. She walked her first time up, and she scored the lone Rochester run. Foul ball. The count is 1-1. Rochester with 3 returning players from last year's varsity on the golf team. Talk about Dryden Vance and Drew Strasser and J.R. McLaughlin. And Noah Riffle is a kid who played a lot of JV last year, and he looks like he's ready to step up to the varsity. Could be a good player. That one's a wild pitch.
Wild pitch. Runner advances to second.
Sells now at second with 1 out. Ground ball foul, 2-2. Saw Cammie Burkett yesterday, and I think she intends on competing this year.
Wow.
For that, and boy, would she give a lift to that girls' track team.
Right.
In the jumping events and the sprints. That ball is put in play. It's a fair ball. The throw by Goodman is a wild throw. And coming in to score on the play is Sells. I think I'm going to call that a base hit. I think even a perfect throw wouldn't have gotten her. Couldn't have rolled it out there any better by Emma. And then an E2, and that allows Sells to score on the air.
Bring up the second baseman, number 1, Coleman.
9-2 now, and that will bring up Kylie Coleman. Kylie struck out her first time, but reached on a drop third strike. Pitches outside. 1-0.
Well, that streak for Haudeshell continues.
Yep. 8 for 8 on the season. Ground ball, shortstop. Sheets to second for force. The throw to first. In time for a 6-4-3 double play. Wow, that was impressive. Coleman's fast. But that was a really nice pivot there at second base by Akaya Campbell. For Rochester in the third, 1 run. 2 hits, both infield hits. 1 error, nobody left. At the end of 3 innings, Winamac leads Rochester 9-2, and you're watching RTC TV4.
But you dropped it. He gave her.
All right, back here at Fansler's, we move into the top of the 4th. Rochester got 1 back in the bottom of the 3rd. Still trailing to the Winamac Warriors 9-2 here after 3 innings.
Goodman, Perry, and Ulrich do for Winamac here in the top of the 4th.
First 3 batters for Winamac, Goodman, Perry, and Ulrich.
Well, it's a little cloudy, Val, but I think the rain's kind of held off so far. Haven't seen too many drops of rain tonight.
The sun has shined on Coach Jenny Belcher and the Winamac Lady Warriors. Coach Belcher, you just won't meet a nicer person than her. She is just great. And, the biggest, when you think of great wins in Winamac softball history, I think the greatest one occurred on this field 9 years ago. 2013 sectional final. That game that Bethany Brogdon pitched was legendary. As Winamac upset the number 1 ranked Lady Z's to win the sectional title. Routine fly ball to right, caught by Bollinger.
Goodman flies out to right field.
I don't know of anybody giving Winamac a chance that day.
Yeah.
That Rochester lineup was just loaded from top to bottom. It had everything you wanted, and they were ranked number 1 in the state most of the season. But Winamac won that day 6-1. Ground ball, left side, fielded cleanly by Emma Haudeshell. Throws to first, in time.
Perry grounds out to shortstop for the second out.
Good start to the 4th here for Rochester. I think that...
And again, if your knee hurts, to be able to plant like that and be able to make an accurate long throw from shortstop, that's just amazing. We take it for granted with Emma, but
yeah,
nice play. And that'll bring up Brooklyn Ulrich. First pitch is outside.
I think back to that 2020 season that got canceled due to the quarantine, Val, and this Winamac Warrior team, I think, probably was poised to have a really, really good season.
Yeah.
And, they lost that entire season, and the girls that graduated that year, it just it stung a little, I know, for Coach Belcher and the Warriors.
Right, when you think of the 2 Goodmans the 2 Gearharts and Sheets, and Goodman who was coming up, and Blake Bailey, who was maybe the best leadoff hitter in the area. That was 3-0 the count. Sells lays one in there, 3-1.
But then you take Coach Belcher and what she did then later on in the summer with that senior night game that they did at the town park. It's just one of those classic Coach Belcher things to do.
We're going to call that an E5 as Ulrich reaches base.
Ulrich reaches on an error. Bring up the first baseman, number 13, Hay.
Ulrich now 1 for 3 on the day.
Correction, substitution, number 8, Combs.
Pinch hitter coming up. Combs, the batter for Winamac. This will be Corin Combs. Or is it Corinne? Corrin. And that is the first hit of her varsity career as she dumps one in the left for a single.
Benson runner to second. That'll bring up Walters.
First and second, 2 outs, and the number 9 batter in the order, Lindsey Walters, is the batter.
Not a bad first varsity at bat.
Yeah.
Get a hit.
Ground ball, right side. Flagged down by Coleman, and she throws to Powell for the out to retire the side.
To retire the side. No runs in the fourth for Winamac. Zebras coming up.
For Winamac in the top of the fourth, no runs, no hits, 1 error, 2 left. Excuse me, no runs, 1 hit, 1 error, 2 left. At the end of 3.5 innings, it is Winamac 9 and Rochester 2, and you're watching RTC TV4.
Michelle and Powell, first 3 batters for the Zebras.
All right, back here at Fansler Field as we move into the bottom of the fourth. The Winamac Warriors still leading 9-2. But the Zebras able to keep a clean sheet there in the top of the fourth. See if they can get a few more back here against the Warriors in the bottom of the fourth. I like what Emma's doing in the circle, Val. She's kind of settled in and she's been able to, for the most part.
She seems to avoid the fat part of the bat with her pitches. Line to left, base hit for Sydney Hawes to start the bottom of the fourth. Hawes to be followed by Mia Hadashell and Powell.
I think she had that one. Was that Maggie Smith that hit the one out to the fence?
Yeah.
On the 0-2 count with the bases loaded.
Yeah.
But other than that, she's done a really nice job in the mound, in the circle.
She doesn't line up the radar gun. That's not easy to hit sometimes.
Yeah.
I've heard it so many times from some really good hitters. Mia Hadashell grounded back to the pitcher her first time up. Inside. Let's see if Mia's, again, down by 7. You wouldn't think she'd be bunting, but maybe it's just something to work on here. She's ahead in the count 2-0, so you wouldn't think so. She swings away and hits it well to center and drops it in for base hit.
Base hit for Hadashell. He's a runner at second.
Hawes now at second.
Brings up the first baseman, Powell.
And Mia Hadashell at first, and I believe that is Mia's first career varsity hit. Yep, she had been 0 for 7, so congrats to Mia. So her first varsity hit comes just a couple moments after Corinne Combs got her first varsity hit. Powell bunts, pops up, foul, caught by Goodman.
Foul's out. Pop up for the first out. That'll bring up number 14, Bollinger.
Audrey Bollinger will bat, freshman. This might be Audrey's first at bat. First pitch, inside. By Keaton Doran started in the spot in the batting order and grounded to second. Pitch is low. 2-0 the count. Ooh, that pitch had a lot of movement on it. I think Audrey kind of committed to that, and before you know it, it swept out of the zone.
I think it had a drop and it went away, didn't it?
Yeah. Ground ball to first. Haig steps on the bag.
Bollinger
Runners advance.
takes the first shot. First for the second out. That'll bring up Strasser. Runners at second and third, 2 left.
So runners at second and third, 2 outs. Dara Strasser, who struck out her first time up, will step up here. Well, this is now, if you're Dara, first of all, you want the order to turn over, obviously, down by 7. But what did she learn from her previous at bat? Because you don't want your number 9 hitter to be striking out, especially with Dara's speed. You want her to be putting the ball in play every time. 1-1. Again, it hasn't been the strikeouts. I mean, 2 of them so far for Gearhart. But again, I mean, she had a 4-0 lead after the first inning yesterday. She had a 7-0 lead before she even threw a pitch today. She knows she doesn't have to get too clever out there. Fouled off, 1-2. I think I mentioned this in my article after the Plymouth game, and you can read that on rtc4sports.com, but both Kylie Coleman and Becky Lee talked about how much they had practiced outdoors, even in the bad weather, and that kind of was good for team chemistry, and it was kind of good for their offense. It was like their hitting really improved because of that, as see Strasser swing and miss for the 3rd out of the inning. And that retires the side. Strikeout number 3. For Rochester in the bottom of the 4th, no runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left. At the end of 4, Winamac leads Rochester 9-2, and you're watching RTC TV4.
Back here at Fansler Field, we move into the top of the 5th. The score remains 9-2. Winamac in the lead. They've been in the lead ever since the top of the 1st. Rochester had some runners there, Val, in the bottom of the 4th, but not able to get much going there. They hit that 7, 8, 9 spot, all freshmen for the Zebras, and it's going to take a little bit of time to get them acclimated, obviously, to the varsity game. But
and a senior pitcher, who knows what to do in those situations, with maybe a little more speed than they've seen and a little more movement than they've seen.
Yeah, by far the best pitcher they've seen so far this year with the game against Plymouth and Triton.
And almost certainly they're going to see another good one tomorrow in Kinsey Bird of Plymouth.
Right.
Actually, Kinsey Bird of Logansport. Oh, man.
That's something I would do
Kinsey
there.
Bird of Logansport.
Talk about Plymouth and then,
And then they'll see a lefty on Friday in A.J. Hines of Culver. Well, the big story in the classification reveal yesterday was that Rochester's moving up from 2A to 3A in girls basketball.
Yeah.
But they're staying in 2A in volleyball and boys basketball. And they're staying in 1A in girls soccer, and they're staying in 2A in boys soccer. They're just moving up. The only sport they're moving up is girls basketball. And again, they're the second largest school in 2A in boys basketball and the smallest school in 3A in girls basketball. So it's just...
Leading off the 5th inning for Winamac Smith.
Again, that just means there's a couple fewer schools that a couple fewer schools that play girls basketball. It could be as simple as that, but it's going to be just weird. I mean, girls soccer and boys soccer are in different classes, and now girls basketball and boys basketball are in different classes. Maggie Smith ahead in the count, followed by Campbell and Sheets.
Yeah, it's kind of like Valley with their baseball and softball.
Mm-hmm.
It just, yeah.
Yep.
They're just kind of floating around that number right there to that line between 2 and 3.
The sectional realignment comes out on Tuesday, May 3rd, and, well, that'll be a very interesting day.
Oh, man.
It's going to be just a weird day.
Where do the Rochester girls go? North Miami girls basketball moving up.
Yeah.
Where will they go?
Mm-hmm.
They'll be in 2A.
Yeah. Right, North Miami, Pioneer, going from 1A to 2A. In boys basketball, I think 3 of the 4 teams from the Triton boys basketball regional are going up from 1A to 2A. Gary 21st Century. No, excuse me, 2 of the 4. Gary 21st Century and Fremont are going up. Triton and North White are staying in 1A. LCC, who lost the state championship game, is going up to 2A. North Davies, who won the state championship game, is going up to 2A as Smith draws her 3rd walk of the game.
Smith walks.
3 of the 4 1-8 teams that made it to semi-state in boys basketball are going up to 2A. North Davies, LCC, and Gary 21st Century.
Wow. Yeah, it's gonna be a completely different look across the state in a lot of sports.
LCC, the state runner-up in both girls basketball and boys basketball, and they're both going up from 1A to 2A. Kaya Campbell, the batter, she is grounded to second, flown out to center, and reached on a fielder's choice, so she's 0 for 3. She has scored a run. Winamac leads here, 9-2, top of the 5th. In the story of this game, the top of the first, when Winamac scored 7. Low and in the dirt. Throw to second is not in time.
Northwestern girls back down in 3A now.
Down in 3A, yep.
Yeah.
Powell is now catching. And that is Mia Howdeshell at first base. And that is Callie Watson over at third base. And the count is 3-0 to Kaya Campbell. Strike called, but it is missed by Powell.
Fastball. Advances Smith to third base.
Smith now at third with nobody out. Count is 3-1. Pioneer moving up from 1A to 2A in enrollment for volleyball and boys basketball. So girls basketball would have moved up anyway. Fly ball to center. Hit deep enough. Nice catch by Hawes, but tagging up and scoring easily is
Campbell
Maggie
flying
Smith.
out to center field, gets an RBI. Smith scores.
That makes it 10-2. So Campbell's still hitless on the day, but now she's got an RBI. And we're bringing up Sheets with nobody on and one out. Sheets walked in the first. Led off the second with a solo homer and had an RBI double her last time up. Count is 1-0. Make it 2-0. So again, the lineup hasn't changed. Just girls playing different positions. Powell at catcher, Mia Howdeshell at first base, and Watson at third base. 3-0. Base on balls, and Sheets has been on all 4 times up. Runner at first with one out for Ella Gearhart. Gearhart had a 2-run double in the first. She flew out to right. In the second, she flew out to center in the third. Pitch is high, and Sheets steals the bag.
Sheets steals second.
Again, with Smith, Campbell, and Sheets, their 1-2-3 hitters are all fast. Fly ball to center. Hit deep. Back to the wall. And that ball is gone. She hit it out. A 2-run homer for Ella Gearhart. And it's 12-2.
2-run home run for Gearhart. That'll bring up the catcher.
Is it even a Winamac softball game if Ella doesn't go deep? I mean, that ball was gone and gone by plenty to straightaway center. That's like Maggie Good territory. There aren't many people who hit it out that direction. Abby Overmeyer when she was Abby Malco back in the day. 1-0 the count to Goodman. And I'm kind of wondering if Emma Sells isn't maybe tiring a little bit out there.
Yeah, she looks like she's ran out of a little gas. She did a real nice job there for a couple innings, but
And that was a nice pitch. Had good spin on it. Nice job by Watson staying down on the ball, and she throws to Mia Howdeshell for the out. 2 down.
2 out, send the batter and Perry.
Sam Perry, the batter. She has walked, reached on a fielder's choice, and she's grounded to short. Line drive down the line, just foul. But if you're a Winamac fan, it's worth noting Rensselaer is going up to 3A. Rensselaer just won that boys basketball sectional.
Right.
Just knocked you out of the sectional on their way to a sectional championship, and now they're moving up to 3A. Boone Grove is 2. Fly ball, right center field. Hawes hustling and making the catch.
Flies out to center field.
Hawes kind of explaining herself to Audrey Bollinger.
4.5 complete.
Audrey knew wisely enough to back out of the way, but Winamac comes up with 3 runs here in the top of the 5th inning on 1 hit. No errors and nobody left. At the end of 4.5 innings, it's Winamac 12 and Rochester 2, and you're watching RTC TV 4.
Welcome back here to Fansler as we move into the bottom of the 5th. The Warriors picking up 3 in the top of the 5th, and Rochester needs to get at least 1 across here. We're going to be going home early in this one.
Top of the order due. And Sells behind on the count 0-1 as she fouls off the first pitch. Emma is grounded to second. And she reached an infield single and scored her last time back in the 3rd. Pitch is low, 1-1. Inside, 2-1. Popped up, foul, and caught. Perry makes the catch.
1 away, brings up Watson.
Bring up Callie Watson. Callie's line to second. And she's fouled out to the catcher in a bunt attempt. 0 for 2. 12-2 Winamac here in the bottom of the 5th. Strike called. Logansport, they've got 2 birds. They've got Kinsey Bird and Kylie Bird. Strike called. They've got a really fast leadoff hitter in Berkshire. They've just got a lot of fast people everywhere. They've got. Yeah, it's supposed to rain tomorrow, so maybe it'll be just a muddy field and they can't get out of the batter's box. It'll be quicksand. Ground ball. Nice job by Perry.
Second out. 2 away, brings up the Mahana Show.
You know, Callie's a good athlete. She's pretty quick, and Perry had to get it there quickly, and she did.
And Logansport is used to playing on, turf at home.
Yeah.
So if it is a muddy little bit, that could be an advantage to the Zebras.
Yeah.
And Logansport.
Hello, mother. Hello, father.
Logansport has been kind of up and down a little bit. They beat Caston, but then they fell 11-1 to Pioneer later in the week.
Yeah.
So
1-1 the count. Fly ball, right field. Will it be caught? Nope. And it'll drop foul. 1-2 the count. Ladies easy down to their final strike. Emma Hadashell has walked and reached on an infield single. She's 1 for 1 in the game. She's 8 for 8 on the season. In the dirt, 2-2. Steve, is it okay if I mention that we host a show called Talking Sports with Val every Friday at 2 o'clock?
No, can't do it.
It's your show. Yeah, you can talk about it.
I was talking with some of the girls yesterday, and they were like, what? Huh?
Really?
Yeah.
I would have thought, it was kind of funny because there was a track meet, and there was a Caston kid, and my daughter was talking to, and he was saying, yeah, I know him. He's on Talking Sports with Val. I was like, oh.
So it's,
You're a celebrity.
yeah.
Yeah, right. Infamous.
Yeah, grounder left side. Sheets, throws to first. And Emma Hotteshell is retired for the first time this season, and that's how the game comes to an end. Winamac wins. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left in the bottom of the fifth. And the final score, Winamac 12 and Rochester 2 in 5 innings.
Rochester suffers their first defeat of the season. They move to 2-1 for the Winamac Warriors. That's 2 in a row, and they move to 3-2 on the season. Like we said, the Zebras will be back in action here tomorrow night against the Logan Sport Berries. We'll take a little bit of a break here and we'll give Val an opportunity to total up the stats here. How long do you need there, Val?
A couple minutes.
Couple minutes. All right. We'll go to a little bit of an ad pack here and come back in a few minutes on RTC TV 4. Final score here tonight from Fansler. The Winamac Warriors win it 12-2. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back here, Fansler Field, as we wrap up our first broadcast of the spring season here on RTC TV 4. Winamac Warriors winning in 5, 12-2 over the Rochester Zebras. Val, you got some totals for us?
Yeah, for Winamac, Maggie Smith 1 for 1 with 3 RBIs. Kaya Campbell was 0 for 3 with an RBI. Alexis Sheets 2 for 2 with an RBI. Ella Gearhart 2 for 4, 4 RBIs. That's 10 RBIs in 2 games this week for her. Emma Goodman went 1 for 3 with a run. Sam Perry 0 for 3 with a run. Brooklyn Ulrich went 1 for 3 with a run. Ella Haig went 0 for 2 while she was in there. Excuse me, 0 for 1 with an RBI while she was in there. Corinne Combs went 1 for 1 when she was in there. And Lindsay Walters went 0 for 2 with a run scored. And for Rochester, Emma Sells went 1 for 3 with a run. And Callie Watson went 0 for 3. Emma Hotteshell went 1 for 2 with a run. Kylie Coleman went 0 for 2. Sydney Hawes 2 for 2 with an RBI. Mia Hotteshell went 1 for 2. Olivia Powell 0 for 2. Keaton Doran went 0 for 1. Audrey Bollinger replaced her and went 0 for 1. And Dara Strasser went 0 for 2. Winamac 12 runs, 8 hits, 3 errors. And Rochester had 2 runs, 5 hits, 2 errors. Winamac is 3-2, and Rochester is 2-1.
All
So,
right.
I'd say Gearhart's on a hot streak, but I think she's just been on a permanent, 4-year-long hot streak.
Right.
I mean, she's one of the best hitters in the state, and we get to see her a lot, and she comes through every time we see her. I still think of that walk-off homer she had against Caston last year. I mean, she never fails to deliver. She's just always on it.
Yep. So the Warriors will be back in action on Thursday at home against Tippecanoe Valley, and then they'll be on the road, it looks like, versus Cass on Friday. And
they're at Lewis Cass on Friday, and then a home doubleheader against defending 1A state champion Northfield on Saturday.
And then they start conference play then on Monday. They have Pioneer coming to town, so that's they're at Pioneer.
They're traveling to Pioneer, yeah. They're traveling to Herc Hoffman Field on Monday, and that will be a big task.
Big task there at Herc Hoffman Field. So that'll be an interesting game there for the Warriors. For Rochester, as we said, they're supposed to play tomorrow night versus Logan Sport here. We'll see how this weather pertains to things. It's kind of forecast to be maybe a little bit nasty tomorrow, so We'll see if that happens. And then we'll be in action again on Thursday. We'll be over at Bob Copeland Field for the Rochester Zebras hosting the Pioneer Panthers. And then
that's it's a pretty good Pioneer team. They lost last night to Delphi 2-0. That was a game that was thrown onto the schedule late.
Yeah.
Delphi scored 2 in the bottom of the first, and that held up. But Caleb Sweet pitched a really nice game for them. Pitched a complete game. And that's a good sign because we were talking about who would be their number 2 pitcher. So I'm curious to see you pitch this for Pioneer on Thursday. But it should be a good game on Thursday afternoon. I'm looking forward to seeing Pioneer now.
Yeah, and I caught Coach Good at the hardware store at noon and was talking to him, and he kind of expects maybe to see Erickson then on Thursday. So. That game last year was, such an entertaining game, obviously, with the Zebras holding on to win 19-17. But, it's just a fury of home runs. I think there was, 6 altogether and 4 grands.
Oh, I lost track. It was
6 or 7, and then 4. I know there was 4 Grand Slam home runs in that game. I mean, just a crazy game. And Pioneer had a really good comeback happening there in the bottom of the 7th, but just fell a little short there in 19-17. That was just crazy.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll probably see that much offense at Bob Copeland. I mean, the wind would have to be blowing way out hard to have that happen.
Yeah.
But it should be fun. We got Pioneer on Thursday, and then they'll be hosting the Academy on Friday. I don't know much about the Academy.
Rochester will host the Academy on Friday. I mean, the Academy, they've always got some studs, usually. I mean, I haven't seen them. I don't know. You just never know who's there, but I mean, they always seem to have some studs. You know, some guy who's, he might be picked in the NHL draft, but he plays baseball in the spring. You know?
Yeah.
They always seem to have one of those guys. It's like, huh?
Yeah.
But they're usually pretty competitive.
Yeah, so it should be fun. Finish out the week with a couple baseball games for you on RTC TV4.
Yeah. And I'm looking forward to that Rochester softball game next Monday here against Eastern. I think we're going to do that one as well.
You're making me think now. Let me look at the schedule.
And I know Eastern has, from what I heard, they have a great young pitcher.
Yep, we've got Eastern on Monday.
Eastern has a great softball tradition.
And then possibly Caston Mechanical next Friday, which they're working on some internet stuff for us down at Caston.
I'm looking forward to that game. That Mechanical team can hit.
Yeah.
They can really hit, and so can Caston.
Right, yeah. I'm just looking forward to having some internet out there. That'd be sweet.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Well, anything else here, Val, before we wrap her up?
I think that's all I got.
All right.
Just read all about it at rtc4sports.com.
Yeah, don't forget we do a live sports show every Friday at 2. It can also be seen on the website rtc4.com as well.
Yeah, the IHSA Champions Network, so it's you can see it whenever you want to see it.
Boy, I tell you what, I saw a couple there. The spam stuff is really getting nasty. They're stealing our thumbnails now. I mean, at first I thought it was a real legit site that the IHSA had promoted, and no, they stole the IHSA's page. They stole our thumbnail, and so be careful if you're watching. If they're asking for information, it's not us.
Yeah, if they're asking for your credit card number, it's not us. Yeah.
So they're just trying to get information and move on, and it's not good. So we're going to wrap it up here from Fansler. Again, the final score, the Winamac Warriors win 12-2 in 5. Thanks for tuning in, RTC TV4. Val, have a good night.
All right, see you.
All right.